Hello, YouTubers. Welcome to Level-Headed News. This is your host, Brenda. I have a special edition for you here that I thought you might enjoy. This is off of WRAL.com, and it is entitled, "One Year After Refuge Takeover, Quieter Land Battle Unfolds." It's out of John Day, Oregon. It says, on a recent wintry evening, members of the Grant County Public Forest Commission walked into the warmth of the rustic diner and took seats at their customary table for their bi-monthly meeting. They voiced anger and frustration at this meeting. They were officially a judge this fall dissolved the commission at the behest of the former county supervisor, who worried it was becoming a risk, citing the takeover of the federal wildlife refuge in a neighboring county. While the armed occupation of the Malheur National Wildlife Refuge grabbed the world's attention, a quieter struggle over federal lands is being waged by those trying to use the election and levers of government. Their grandparents and great-grandparents wrested a living from the West rugged landscape. But now the forest commissioners say the government is tightening access to the same natural resources by closing roads and curtailing logging and other industries that allowed previous generations to be self-sufficient. The commissioners feel that they lost by the stroke of a judge's pen the tool voters gave them to fight back. And there are some pictures here in this federally owned land as a percent total, and just about all of the western states are involved in all of this. It's something to see. So you can pull that URL up and take a look at it at your leisure. It's in the description of this video for you. And the article goes on and says, Kim McCrolla, a local voiced concern of the many, and says, I would think we should have more say, because what does the federal government know about what's going on around here? Unquote. With 1,700 residents, John Day is Grant County's biggest town, named for a fur trapper who in the early 1800s survived being robbed of everything by the American Indians, but trekked with a compatriot to safety. The second longest free-flowing river in the continental United States also bears Day's name. Created by voters in a ballot measure 14 years ago, the Forest Commission was tasked with determining the fate of public lands, which comprised 66% of the county's 4,529 square miles. Hours before the meeting at the Squeeze Inn restaurant and deck, Forest Commissioner Jim Sproul drove his pickup up a canyon and into the Malheur National Forest. My great-grandfather came here in the 1870s. He started the Humboldt mine, the 64-year-old said. A pin on his cap proclaimed support for Sheriff Glenn Palmer, a sympathizer of the refuge occupiers' cause. Sproul looked at skeletal trees killed by a 2015 fire that burned 43 homes and more than 172 square miles. He blamed the U.S. Forest Service, saying that it let the forest grow too thick, allowing the blaze to crown and become a huge fireball. Sproul wants the agency to open more burned areas for loggers to salvage trees. At the Squeeze Inn, commission members voiced more complaints. You're missing the point, growled Commissioner Mike Smith from beneath the brim of his cowboy hat. The point is they want to make it so you can't make a living in rural Oregon, so you have to leave. Others nodded assent. Commissioner Dave Taylor said he suspects the government and environmentalists want to create a 200-mile wide corridor from Canada to Mexico with only animals present and no humans. Federal officials say no such plot exists. District Ranger Dave Hallmeyer noted the Forest Service has increased its transparency. We meet with the public before we even have the idea of what we want to do in the area, Hallmeyer said in an interview. Historically, we'd come up with a plan and then present that plan, and now the public's involved in developing the plan. Malheur National Forest Supervisor Steve Beblin said he had productive talks with a forest commissioner about modifying rules for gathering firewood, but faced hostility at a commission meeting. It was difficult to engage because they wouldn't share information, Beverlin said. Mark Webb, whose petition for judicial review led to commissioners' disillusion, said he felt it was growing too close to Palmer and his increasing belligerence toward the federal government. The leaders of the wildlife refuge takeover were planning to meet with Palmer when officers intercepted him on January the 26th. State police shot and killed the boy Finicum as he appeared to reach for a pistol. Sproul said he had invited takeover leaders Ammon and Ryan Bundy to speak to residents about the Constitution and states' rights with no ulterior motives. Anyone who says there's a militia here is a liar, Sproul said, but there are patriotic citizens here, hell yes. Says no one informed them of the petition. Judge W.D. Kramer ruled September the 14th that the ballot measure that created the commission violated the U.S. and state constitution and federal statutes. In explaining his ruling, Kramer said he may have personal views that align with many on how public lands are managed or not, and views on how those who live close to the land should be heard. But facts and the law dictate a decision. Webb heads another organization, Blue Mountain Forest Partners, which describes itself as a diverse group of stakeholders who work to improve local forests and communities. He said his group and the Forest Commission have similar goals, but radically different approaches. The Commission thought they had authority to tell the county officials and the National Forest how to manage public lands, but Blue Mountain respects the framework we have. Webb ran in May primary for one of the commission's 7 seats. His name was removed from the ballot because of a technicality. Grant County Clerk Brenda Piercy said Webb told the Associated Press he ran in case his petition failed so he could inform or redirect the commission, which he said was ineffective. The Forest Commission, meanwhile, planned to appeal the judge's decision and has been in contact with the Secretary of State's office, which manages elections, to seek a remedy, Sproul said. So there you have that information. I thought that that was worth bringing to your attention. I'm going to have 3 episodes of the current events for you today, and in a little while, as soon as I get them all recorded up for you. So be sure and check them out. Give this a thumbs up if you like what we're doing, and share it around so people get to know what exactly is going on, because this won't be media. Be sure and subscribe. Check that little bell beside the subscribe button there and click the box so that you get email alerts whenever I put shows up, and that'll keep you informed. We'll see you later.